storylines are we tracking? Oh yeah, the weekly spot on the show, and now other people are going to be picking up on this trend. Sanchez updates. He was less than 50% passing. I don't have his numbers right in front of me. I think for 100 and some yards and an interception because they got shut out. And he's not doing anything that Tim Tebow couldn't do, except get your game on primetime television. So it's getting, like, people are starting to talk about it. I know we've been talking about it since the season even started, but the Tebow countdown is on. So, Andrew, because you said he wasn't going to start. I said he was.
I did.
Are you starting to shift? Join the believers.
Not yet. Yeah, they're 2-2. I think if they're not tied for first in their division, they're leading it. I mean, that could change in a hurry, especially with the Patriots. But I mean, after 4 games, you got to stick with your starting quarterback, right? Like, if you pull Sanchez, let's just be honest. Tebow's not going to do what he did in Denver. Okay, so in 2 weeks.
How do you know that? He's a winner. He is a champion.
Tebow, I'm a big Tebow fan, but at this point, I think you give Sanchez, you give him at least 8 games. He's been your starting quarterback for how many years now? He's taken him to the playoffs how many years? So you got to stick by him for a little longer. This isn't the CFL here. Come on, the NFL, they stick with their guys.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll see. Maybe 2 more games like this, I could see. Not that Rex would normally do that if his backup were Bruce Bollinger or anybody else. Like, just because it's Tebow, like the only quarterback who gets more attention than his entire team.
Yeah, the Jets organization is getting exactly what they asked for. A circus show.
Welcome back. It is October 1st, 2012, and you are not live on biased, uninformed sports talk radio. That is BUSTradio. So we're going to do our weekly NFL chat. And first topic is a fan request by one Mr. Carson Dick, whose Twitter handle is @CHenry, extra Y on the end. So he wanted the boys to touch on Chris Johnson's performance against the Texans. Now, if you drafted Chris Johnson first overall in your fantasy draft like I did, you will realize he's been having a terrible, terrible season. I think he had, 50 yards after 3 weeks. And this guy's supposed to be one of the best backs in the league. But anyway, against Houston is, one of the best Ds in the league. He went off for 150 yards and some rushing yards or some receiving yards. So maybe he's back, maybe he's not. I don't know. Maybe this is just a flash in the pan, as they say. But let me just regurgitate a stat here that I heard on TV. That what was it now? Chris Johnson was, in his first 2 years in the league, was about getting 100 yards every other week. Since then, he signed his big contract, got his big payday, and then he's gone over 100 yards. 4 in the last 18. I guess it'd be more like 5 in the last 20 now. So substantial drop off after the contract. I don't know if you can relate those two, but that's something. But anyway, Chris Johnson, will he do it again next week? I don't know who they play, but I'm going to start him again because you never know. You never know.
Did you start him this week?
Yeah, I had to keep him this week, but I don't have a best team. I started an empty spot at running back, so not exactly your fantasy guru. Anyway, Andrew, your Vikings looking pretty good. Big win for the boys.
Yeah, I wrote him off at the start of the season pretty well, but bringing back AP, I thought it was a crazy decision. 8 months off his reconstructive knee surgery. I don't even know if I think that's unheard of in sports. Actually, mind you, he's a beast. And then when they decided to run in 20 plus times a game again, I didn't like the decision, but I mean, it seems to be paying off. They won this last week on special teams, but yeah, I think they're turning some heads, and there's something to look out for. I just sort of stacked Christian Ponder's the only quarterback in the league starting quarterback to yet throw a interception. So things at the moment are looking pretty good for the Vikings, and I hope they start getting a little more attention around the league, especially on NFL game day, especially. I mean, they don't get talked about. Maybe in a couple more wins, if they put together another 2, they'll start turning even more heads.
Yeah, it's good for them. The Lions seemed like they were an up and comer, but I don't know. You credit the Vikings for the win, but they've had some losses. They were going toe to toe with Tennessee, and like Tennessee's not a very, we were just talking about them, they're not much of a force, but so maybe the Lions are a little overhyped.
They must
this
be.
year, yeah.
They were supposed to be big in the playoffs even this year, and they haven't done a thing.
Yeah. And Arizona is still undefeated. Who would have said that coming in without their starting quarterback too? So props to Arizona, whatever. And also the Bills looked like they were going to give the Patriots a run, but then the Patriots just decided to shift gears and just blow them out in the second half. So ending all out there.
Tom Brady running 5 straight TD drives.
Heck of a sport, though.
Hell of a sport.